Hi everybody, Carol here. Welcome to my YouTube channel. Today I'm going to be making 10 cards, one kit from the Simon Says Stamp April card kit. And these cards I'm making today are going to be with the pattern paper. There are some samples of the paper, and it is two-sided. All of them are two-sided. They measure 6 by 8, and so I had plenty to work with, and it was fun. So I'm going to make the first card is 11 by 4. I'm going to score it right down the middle at 5.5, and then the middle of that, which is 2 3/4, and I'm going to burnish those all in the same direction. And this is going to be an easel card. So with an easel card, you put glue on the bottom part, that bottom 2 3/4 section, gluing down my pattern paper just on that part. And then these are the little cutout pictures that come in the kit. And I backed it, and see, when you turn it around, you have that pretty pattern paper on the back, so it doesn't even matter if that shows. Now you need a little stopper to hold the easel part up, so I used 2 pieces of cardstock and glued them down to make it high enough, and that's what happens. You slide it up like that. I'm going to make 2 of these cards very similar. This one says love you, using the same paper, and I was showing that from the card kit, the stamp kit, you could actually use some sentiment from there to write at the bottom, or you could write your own name. That's what it looks like when it's up on the easel. So there's the cup one. Now here's the next one coming up. Same measurements. Put glue on that bottom section, and I'm just showing you the pieces that I'm going to use and how I put the glue on those. I use Tombow Mono Multi Glue, and it's repositionable if you let it dry. And then you can pull it off and on and resituate your pieces. So there again is the flowery piece, then a piece of black cardstock, a piece of white cardstock, and then the little cutaway picture that says thank you. And again, I go up, I think it was about 1 inch or 1 1/8, whatever suits your fancy. It doesn't have to be anything specific. If you need to measure and keep that straight, it might help. So I had a little tick mark there I erased. Now here is the other part that I put. Instead of 2 strips of straight pieces of black, I used this Martha Stewart punch for the little lacy edge. And just showing you how you use that. You line it up, excuse my head, you just match the little drawings on the punch and cut it out, and that's how that worked. And I thought that looked real pretty too. And so cut off the overhanging edges, and again, you could use a stamp or just leave it plain, whatever you wanted to do. So there are the 2 of them. I'll turn them on the side so you can see the way they look, and of course they go down flat if you want to mail them. I think it's a pretty effective card for as relatively simple as it is. So now in this kit there are at least 2 really large pictures, a full 6 by 8 inches, and so I decided to make use of those. I used the blue that was in the kit, and I went around the edge with some neutral ink and my makeup sponge, and you can definitely see that that's got a little edging on it, the blue that is. Put it onto the beautiful brown. It comes in the kit, and live life in full bloom. And I just wanted to show, if you really wanted to make this big, like for framing or for a scrapbook page, you could use the full 8.5 by 11 piece at the back and glue that down. But I thought it was very pretty. I think it's even suitable for framing. So that's what it would look like on white if you preferred that. I sometimes like to just throw those in just to see the difference in the colors and what you can do to make it different. Here's another one that I really liked, and I went around the edge of that, and I wanted to show you how it shows up by putting it on that white with the neutral ink. It just gives it a finished edge. And then, so I used the doll pink that was from another kit, and then their buffalo check. I love that black and white. And then a piece of black cardstock on top of that. Put them all down, and put this little thing that says Blossom, it's your turn to blossom. So I think that's cute. I think that'd be a cute graduation card, actually, especially for a girl. You know, it's your turn to blossom. So, or maybe a new job. But so that's what that looks like. And then if you put it with this kind of peach color, now that's from my stash, but it really does match that background color in the picture. Then just for fun, I had in the kit there is a die, and I cut up this little tulip, and I kind of just thought I'll play with that little tulip and see where it looks good. And I'll show you that. I took a piece of black cardstock, just cut off the top of the boot. I could have cut the whole thing out and then just cut off the top of the flowers. But this is in the kit, the little rain boot die. You could use a negative for that on a card. I think that would be pretty. Or use the silhouette look with the black. That's what it looks like to me. And so I was just playing with it to see what I could do with it. Now the next card, I used a solid piece of black for the card base. Almost all of these are A6 card, which means they are 4.5 by 6 1/4. And there are A6 envelopes. But I used the yellow pattern paper, went around the edge of that little cutout picture with a makeup sponge. There in the center, I used a piece of black backed white paper just for some distinction there. I wanted to use some stickers that came in the kit, and I like to cut them out around the edges so that it helps me know how to place them. And so this little boot had the same black and white check that the cone holding the flowers had, and I thought I just want to use those together somehow. So erasing my little marks there. And so I also used a little saying from that, simply blessed, and put that on there. Use my tweezers on those for the placement. But I thought that made a pretty card. And again, just showing some background colors. So I'll zoom in and let you see that. And I just offset. Everything doesn't have to be exactly line up. And then if you did want to write on the inside, you'd have to put a white piece of paper in there or something you could write on. And then there is the A6 envelope. I wanted to show you how it does fit so perfectly. So now the next card, another A6, has actually some brown from my stash because I ran out of the other brown that came in the kit. But this little birdie paper and some of their pink cotton candy paper. I cut 2 different strips, 2 different sizes to fit them on that, and just to give a little color to the bird paper. Then the dark background for the picture that's coming up. Tried to center that. And then also getting those strips down good and tight. And then here's the little bird cutaway picture that I think is so cute. Very simple, but the papers in this kit are really pretty and colorful, very spring-like. So this is, I wanted to show on some of these how these papers mix and match so well, and they look good together. And I just wanted to show you how they work together. One more card now with the blue background that came in the kit. More paper, pattern paper, and then this little cutaway that happy bloomin' birthday. I used the Sizzix foam adhesive sheet that came in the kit and put the whole thing up and sticking it down onto the background. It really raises it up nicely and gives it a lot of strength. That's a pretty substantial card with all of that on there, and I like that feel. So but once it's down, you can't twist and tweak it anymore. It's down. So Again, these different papers, I really play with the papers a lot to see which ones I like together. This one with the black, and then the plant paper that's flowers. They have flowers and cactus and all kinds of things. I put down dark backing for show a very slim edge around that white, and then put down the cutaway saying and a little bit of a picture. I wanted it to have a little more oomph, so that's why I put the white and the black behind it. And but it matches the paper so well, those colors, that caramel tan, and let your dreams blossom. Now I believe this is the last one. Going through them very fast, just have to in order to get them all in. I loved this little paper, and I thought it looked kind of like wallpaper. So the reason I chose it is because I'm going to use a window picture that's in the kit. You can see there, and it has a little wreath. So I'm thinking wallpaper in that, and I thought, well, do we hang wreaths on the inside of the house? And I thought, yes, I think sometimes we do, if you just want to have a special occasion. So to make it look more like the inside of the house, I decided to make a curtain. I was just experimenting. So I had a little bit of this other paper left. I thought it looked curtainy, drapey. So I raised the valance, or the cornice board, up on some foam tape, and then took little bitty strips of what I had left to make the curtains hang all the way down to the floor. One of them I had already cut in half, so I had to piece it together. But I thought, that's okay. It kind of makes it look like a fold in the curtain. So try to make excuses for everything, right? So, but anyway, so now we have some curtains around this window, and I think it looks like an indoor window, and you could put a wreath inside your house if you want to. Now I took a hole punch, 1/4 inch hole punch, and cut out some circles to represent flowers or balls or whatever you really want them to represent. I'm showing them on the back of this pattern paper. There were actually some teeny tiny flowers, so I tried to cut around them and look as if there are flowers on the wreath. And when you get up close, maybe you can pick that up. I used some pink and peach and another flower, and just tried to fill it in just to have a festive look. Maybe it's a welcome home to somebody, and you're saying, thinking of you, when they come to your house or whatever. So now these, I thought, went with the big old blossom picture, and I just kind of wanted to show you how these colors and these patterns go together, these prints. They are just really well coordinated. And that is it. I do want to show very quickly one extra card that I didn't have time to do the whole thing, so I made a complete video on it. It is a video posted before this video will be posted today. So it's using that boot die, and just a total different look. But I hope you'll go back and look at that video. It was a lot of fun to make. So thank you for joining me. Here's some still shots of all the cards that were made today. I think they're all cute. If you wanted to make a gift and stack all of these, I made them all landscape so they could go together if you wanted to make a gift out of them. But I hope you enjoy and got some ideas. These pattern papers, some of them are really nice. So thanks for joining me. There'll be some videos at the end that you might want to look at, including that rain boot one from this kit. And I appreciate you being here. I hope you had a good time. I did. Thank you, and we'll see you next time. Until then, bye-bye.